Hello everybody, it's Wolf in the studio in Japan again. Today the pain clinic that I visit every couple of days is full up. I can't get in. So I'm going to do electrotherapy at home. And I'm going to do a vlog entry highlighting some of my new music. The electrotherapy device is really pretty cool. It provides several different types of electric pulses that go through your skin and do provide, well, by the feeling for sure, some relief. I've got spasm in my lower back right now. It is a recurring problem for me. No amount of weight training seems to be curing it, even though I've got much better posture now than ever before in my adult life. And in fact, some types of weight training make it worse. And I've got this sneaking suspicion that those pulses might get picked up by the pickups on one of my electric guitars, so I'm going to check that out. I'm recording that right now with my multi-track system, and I will throw the sound in. So definitely this guitar is picking it up. I'm running it through a clean amp simulation on my Zoom G3N. These are Hyper Dragon pickups on my Greco Zimatis Z series. Now the electrodes are attached to a part of my body nobody needs to see. That is pretty cool. Maybe I'll find a way to use that in some music. With that little test done, let's take a look at my latest composition. This piece is called No Excuse. I started out this piece aiming for something less ambitious, something that wouldn't be as multi-layered as most of the stuff I've been working on recently. As you can see when I throw it up on screen though, the session has a lot of tracks so far, and it is not complete. For today's insight into the music, I'm going to do what I usually do, which is play a little bit of the naked keyboard mix, just the keyboard mix with no effects that I use as a reference. Then I will play the current state of the full mix, and then I'm going to take a little bit of a fine-grained analysis of some of the bass sections that I just finished recording today. Here is what I call the naked mix. It's my reference. It is just what was spat out of the Chrome after I finished my composition process on that. It's a decent sound. I always like the color that comes out of Chrome. Play on words intended. Now, here is the re-recorded version. So not that reference mix, but a discrete recording of all of those instruments. Some of them double-tracked, multi-tracked, phased, thrown around the stereo spectrum, all kinds of stuff. And there's also a final bass recording in there. Now I'm going to solo out a few different parts of that. I'm just using my reference speakers so that I don't have to spend too much time in post-production on this vlog. The Jerry drum section. Reverb on the high band for that. Little bit of additional percussion. Electric piano. Secondary synth electric piano. That's what it's called. It doesn't sound very piano to me. Electronic bleep bloop sounds. Same thing run through the chaos pad. Here's a section where in the pure keyboard mix, I have a saxophone solo. I was thinking, hopefully I can get somebody to collaborate on saxophone. I did ask somebody I knew. She didn't feel she was up to it. I think she probably is. She would recommend somebody to me. But in the meantime, I'm replacing it with guitar. Here's the idea as it appears on keyboard. It's not great It's not terrible. I used to play with synth saxophone an awful lot when I imagined that it was an okay replacement for the real thing. Those were the days of the Roland Sound Canvas, which is still a great sound source. Here's the final mix where that's replaced with guitar and a harmony guitar and 2 rhythm guitars and some bass. You can hear why it's hard for me to say whether I'm a keyboard guy or a guitar guy. I love working with keyboards. There's some very, very electronic stuff coming up later on in this piece. But I really, really get a kick out of guitar too. Just for fun, here is the lead line and the harmony line only. I promised I'd do a special section on bass, so here it comes. I have electric bass in some sections in this piece, with 2 distinct sounds, and another sound. The main distinct sounds are one named after Marcus Miller, so it's going to be slap bass, and one called free bass, which is just a joke, and that is picked bass that's a little bit more melodic in nature. It's not slap bass. Here is one of the Miller sections on its own. Don't know if you can tell over my Bose studio monitors, cheap computer speakers, I don't know if you can tell that there's been a drastic improvement in my bass sound, but there has, and it's not because I play any better, I don't. It is my new bass multi-effect unit, the Zoom B3N. I got it in Ebina. It was there before it was in any other store that I could find, so thanks to the folks out in Ebina. It doesn't make me an Ikimonogakari fan yet. Here's the sound I nicknamed Freebass. I mentioned there was a very electronic section in this piece. It is dubstep influenced, it has all kinds of weird electronic sounds in it. So I'll play that, and then, well, the surprise is that there is actually electric bass in one section there, with a twist, and I'll explain that. So here is the weirdest section. Yeah, pretty crazy. And there is electric bass in there with a twist. So first, the origin of that electric bass sound is in another section that comes a little bit later. Here is the way that sounded. I liked that sound color that was coming out of my effect unit. Kind of flange, wah, phase, all kinds of goofy stuff. Played slap. So I recorded some single notes, single hits on the bass, actually a slap and a pop, and then goofed with them in my editing software, and then threw them into a rhythmic sampler to create this, which is just one of the layers in the weirdest part of this piece. There's actually some components in there sampled off my microKORG and also off my Zoom BKE Street Box. That's the state of my music today. Thanks for joining me. I hope to do another update sometime soon.